here's Brody Brazil.
Well, make no mistake about it, I'm a huge proponent of Howard Terminal. Everything I've done, everything I do on this channel, it aims towards showing you the potential of a new ballpark for the A's just north of Jack London Square. But that established, I do feel like I need to do this situation justice and tell you about these 3 stadium sites in Las Vegas. The Festival Grounds, the Rio Hotel site, which has now just emerged, and Tropicana. So 1, 2, and 3, in no particular order here is what I want to discuss, but you kind of get the lay of the land. We'll do the whole satellite view and talk about these sites in just a second. These are all reported and established, and these are the ones that keep reappearing in terms of Southern Nevada. Now let's start with the Rio site because it has now entered the fold of this conversation. Just a couple days ago from last week, Fox 5 out of Las Vegas says the Oakland Athletics on Friday confirmed to Fox 5 that the team is exploring the Rio site as a potential Major League Baseball ballpark in Las Vegas. Quote, the A's are exploring the Rio site as a potential ballpark location, a spokeswoman for the team told Fox 5. Separately, Dreamscape Properties, the owner of the Rio, also confirmed that it had been contacted about the potential for the site to serve as an MLB facility. Dreamscape said in a statement that, quote, the company has been engaged in a dialogue about a portion of the excess land at the Rio as a potential MLB ballpark for the past several years. The company remains open to this idea. Now, look, I'm no expert on Las Vegas. I'm not exactly in the hotel game, so to speak, the hospitality genre. That's not really my thing. But I do a little quick research on the Rio after seeing this statement, and I thought I had heard something about its future endeavors. I get this from Bloomberg, literally from also a few days ago. Dreamscape, the New York real estate investor that owns the Rio Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, has raised $850 million to remodel the Las Vegas resort and invest in similar properties. Eric Birnbaum, Dreamscape's chief executive officer and founder, said in an interview he's created a real estate investment trust to own the 2,500-room resort. He's also created a property management company. Birnbaum sees an opportunity to use those vehicles to acquire more gambling and entertainment-related assets as consumers return to business and leisure travel. Essentially, what I'm interpreting here is that they have acquired $850 million to fix up the Rio. Now, if you look at the land and the site, we talk about this as a site, but the hotel and a convention center and the pool and all the associated stuff on the property, it takes up most of the property. Now, there is some land to show you here as we'll eventually get to the satellite view, but it's kind of curious, like, why would they be going about acquiring $850 million to fix up the hotel if they're also talking about leveling it or maybe fixing it up and building a ballpark as part of it? Let's go to the satellite view. Here's the airport just for kind of reference. I always do that. You see the Strip right there. You see Allegiant Stadium. So let's go just north of that, kind of follow I-15. There is the Rio. Off the Strip, this is the current property. I believe we can rotate around it here. This is kind of now looking more of a southerly direction, but I guess big parking lot here. To be fair, it's like, right off the freeway. You've all seen it. It's not on the Strip. I mean, we should also establish that from the very beginning. I was always under the impression that the best and maybe only way the A's would ever exist in Las Vegas is a ballpark on the Strip proper. I mean, that's why T-Mobile Arena is steps away from Las Vegas Boulevard. Allegiant Stadium is a short walk away from the Strip. This is more of a departure. I guess a little bit. Maybe not. I guess, there's the Bellagio right there. So maybe it's not right there, but it's also not far away. But here's what the site looks like. Yeah, some excess land, but is that enough excess land for a ballpark? I mean, you're seemingly having to level some of these buildings. Maybe it's this part of the property. Maybe all of this could be used. I'm just, again, curious about this site. Would it necessitate, like, knocking over one of these buildings, knocking over this building to create more room for a ballpark site. And how about what surrounds it? There's literally a neighborhood of houses, many blocks of houses to the west, to the north, a little bit to the south. And again, yeah, maybe visiting Las Vegas, the Rio always seemed like farther off the strip than it actually is. But kind of going here back to the satellite view, it's just west of the freeway. It's on the other side of the freeway. By no means is it right here. Now, let's go down and look at the Tropicana site closer to the airport. All you have to do is look for that big white albatross of a building or two buildings. Here is the Tropicana site. Now, my, oh my, this to me is kind of like the Howard Terminal of Las Vegas sites. If you ask me, right, this is probably where you want to be. People fly right into the airport. They have to pass the ballpark on their way up the strip or down the strip. I mean, this Tropicana site, so centrally located. And it's also essentially in the same neighborhood as, right there, T-Mobile Arena, which, in my opinion, is in a prime location. I think they've done a fantastic job locating that, and not far away from Allegiant Stadium, which I guess, in retrospect is a similar distance. But look at the size of Allegiant Stadium here. Maybe a top-down view is a little bit better. Look how much land, and this was under construction when they took the satellite photo, that takes up a sizable amount of land. And I don't see a lot of parking lot or associated structure there. But compare that with, here's the Rio site, right? Here it is. I mean, you would need most of this piece of property to put a baseball stadium there. You're leveling a lot of this. And going back to that $850 million acquisition, I'm confused. What is that for? Or is it just acquired in the case that you might do ballpark / hotel on the property, or fix it up somehow, or level one of the buildings? Again, I don't claim to be an expert on that. I just found it interesting that within days of each other, the A's would say that we're interested there. And also the company that owns that site says we've acquired $850 million, almost $1 billion to upgrade this property. I guess I should also talk about the festival grounds too. That is just north here of Circus Circus. Let me kind of rotate it around here so you can get a better view. There is Circus Circus, the big top in front, that big red or burgundy glass dome in the back. And then this is the festival grounds just north of it. Now here, you can also see kind of an excess of land, especially look at this corner right here. But there are pre-existing buildings. I think, is there a Hilton hotel here? Yeah, there's a Hilton. There's a couple other things. You know what I got to do? I got to just go back to Vegas for more on-the-ground research to see all this stuff in person instead of doing the satellite views. But no, look, it does appear like the festival grounds, as you kind of look at it from this direction. The strip is, straight past it here. Yeah, there is maybe more of an opportunity right around here to do something. But again, I go back to, does this site really work? I mean, everything, I suppose, works to a certain degree, but what is the best site here? And how is even the Rio maybe considered? Now, you also heard in their statement that it didn't sound like this was a new proposition. It sounded like this had been an ongoing conversation for a long time that they've always considered. Maybe they just, didn't realize that it's back in the fold as much. If I had to rank these, again, I think for Las Vegas, and again, I'm saying this from the Oakland / Howard Terminal supporter perspective, right? I'm literally looking at this from a slanted view. I totally am, and I'm not even trying to deny that. But if I were to rank, what I think would even work best here, you'd have to say that Tropicana and that site is probably the number one thing. And just kind of moving around here, is the Rio number 2? Is that even truly a possibility? And then obviously the festival grounds here, probably a number 3. You're close to the stratosphere right there. You're closer to old Las Vegas, downtown Las Vegas. This does offer you, a certain amount of property on the northern part of the Strip. But again, it's all just perspective on these 3 Las Vegas sites. I just want you all to be aware this is what is being considered. And yeah, the Rio now in the fold, it makes this trio. It makes this trifecta of sites that, as we understand, are essentially the finalists when it comes to Las Vegas. Let me know what you think about all of these developments and the Las Vegas side of things. Again, I'm not making this to lead you on in any direction like something has happened for me to talk more about Las Vegas. It's only that I'm, curious about the possibilities. How does this Rio site fit into the other 2? And let's also be honest, somebody owns each of these properties. So you're not just evaluating the site, the possibility and the chance of each site also probably comes with different percentages. So let me know what your comments are down below. I'll see you on the next video.